Hey friends, I am trying a new setup, so I'm really excited to do that. Today what we're going to be working on is I need a new mailbox. It has been hit about 3 or 4 times by the plow at some point before we moved into the house, and it is a bit derelict. I'll show you pictures of that, maybe now, maybe a little bit. But I have designed a Japanese-inspired one, kind of goes along with how we're trying to renovate this house. And I'm also trying a new camera, so there should be some cool shots as we go through. But this is going to be the process of me designing and building. I'm going to use no screws. So I'm doing this entirely out of traditional woodworking techniques. It's going to be pegs. The idea is inspired by Japanese joinery. I am not a specialist in Japanese joinery, but I am always impressed by it. So that's part of what we're going to do and why we're using cedar for this. So stick around. I hope you enjoy it. So one of the biggest things you have to do when you are doing any kind of joinery is measure, measure, measure before you cut. And so, especially with Japanese joinery, and again, this is mostly inspired, it's not true to anything. But as I was measuring, I wanted to make sure that I fit everything exactly to the board itself. I love this little trick. Just using your speed square with your saw and make sure it's squared up. I don't know about you, but this part is the most satisfying, breaking these little pieces out and the sound it makes. And the one thing I wish I could share with you while doing these videos is the smell of working with cedar. This is red cedar that I found in my local hardwood store. One of the biggest things I had with this whole project was realizing that I had a lot of improvement I needed to do with my chisels. I've used them before, but these are fairly new, and learning how sharp they need to be, this particular type of wood. Cedar has lots of gaps, so it's not the hardest, so it has a tendency to compress when you're using your chisel, so finding ways to get that slicing motion. This is the first fit of this, and it doesn't fit quite, and I don't have any files, so I ended up on this project making myself a couple, specifically with some wood and some 80 grit sandpaper, and I was able to get it nice and flush. This is me marking out the actual square pegs that I'm using to bind the wood together. As I go through this video, what I'm noticing is that my motions are kind of jerky. That as I work with this wood, I think I realized that I need long, smooth motions to get the wood into the shape that I needed it. Show you a little bit of this process, but cutting out these pegs was probably the hardest part. I tried several different ways of doing it, and as you can see, there's a little bit of chipping at the top there. Again, that's me learning how to use my chisel, and I think I'm really excited to continue to use it, but it'll be a whole lot more work going forward. So here I'm cutting down the other pieces I've milled out. To get this steep angle, I was using my bandsaw along with the guide that comes with it. The basic layout. Now I go in and I'm actually going all the way through the wood. So these are probably the largest sections. You can see I'm trying a different bit. The last one kind of ate up the wood and made it hard to actually and this one is like, oh, let's see what we can do. So I started it with that, and then I came in with a Forstner bit about the right size. It seemed to have a nice cleaner cut with those bits than what I had with everything else. Coming in and lining around the edges. And then slowly stripping it away. Trying to hog out some of it so that it didn't compress so much as I went down. Now it's all cut out. Save you having to watch me chisel all of the pieces, and now I'm trying to fit them together. It's double overlapping, so. It's nice when that first dry fit really snugs in. Again, this is me trying a different set of drills, seeing if doing multiple drill bits would help. It didn't really. I just need to improve my technique. I got through it. It looks good. I also took that same 2x4 red cedar and now I'm milling those pegs. And I've got a little handhold for the lantern you see in the front. Marking and cutting that out. Get it nice and sanded. Now I sanded all of this wood down to about 220. And you're right, it's outside. It's not really a necessary thing, but I'm going to see this every day when I come home. So it makes me happy and it makes it a nicer finished product when I'm done. The glue up. So I have a laser and I cut out the numbers. I have a 10 watt and the settings on this were 250 millimeters per minute, 90% power with 3 passes, if you're interested. I put some semi-translucent on this. The oak doesn't take a whole lot of stain, but I just want to darken it, I think, so you could see it more. This is all the next day after the glue up, and I'm cutting off the pegs and put a little bit too much force on that one. And this particular saw, I love the saw, I've used it so much, I need to clean it. It's had its life. I might need to get another one. Sanding up all the joints, getting them nice and smooth. I glued this on, didn't want to use brad nails. Nothing else has got nails on it. Why start here? And so here's the final product. I put some water seal on the outside, which is why it's nice and darkened there. I hope you've enjoyed watching this project. I really enjoyed making it. It is by far one of the more rewarding projects. It's just a simple mailbox, but getting an opportunity to learn, to grow my skills, and to create something that's going to bring me joy every day. Thank you for watching. Hope you'll consider subscribing, following my channel. Thank you so much for your time. The Japanese-inspired mailbox.